Hello, folks, and welcome back to Star Wars Syndicates and Secrets. Today, we are dealing with a unique scenario. The party being Aldous, Sind, Owen, and the commando droid known as Mando have went off into the wastes of Ilum in search of Mace Windu. Instead, they found a Gorgonid awaiting them. Oh my god, I'll be right back. As I was saying before a giant bug so rudely interrupted me, the party is currently off dealing with a Gorgonid. However, in the time of them leaving the Scythe and starting that fight, we are going to stick with Morwenna, with her new Gonk friend, and see what they get up to. So if you would kindly roll 2 Destiny for me. One for myself and one for you.
I feel so smart. I just hit, use. So I'm going to roll from Gonk sheet, and then I'm going to roll from my sheet. Oh, geez.
Nothing
man.
but the dark side. So as we pick up Morwenna, you are currently in the ship. You have just seen you've just seen Aldous grab the cold weather gear within the Scythe and depart into the wastes after Aldous and Mando. You have found a Gonk friend in the couple of minutes that he has been gone, and you are currently charging them up. What would you like to do?
So, first of all, it's going to take a little bit of time for Gonk friend to, charge up, right?
To fully be at capacity, yes.
Right. Alright, does the Scythe have, a bathroom?
I would imagine.
Alright, she probably, with how much that's been going on, having the, first moment to herself, she's gonna go fucking take a shower, right? And, allow the Gonk to, power up and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And probably giggling at the fact that they're probably, they're out in Ilum right now, and she's like, yeah, nice hot shower. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And while that's happening, every now and then, in the background, you hear as he's just charging away. But you are able to take a nice hot shower from within the Scythe and find yourself back in the main proper.
Right. Alright,
I wouldn't spend dark side points to kill you in the shower.
Right, hamper your shower.
Yeah.
Alright, she'll take her shower and then, get dressed and all that, and then, go and, see where the bot's at by the time she gets out of the shower, charge-wise.
Yeah. Let's see. I believe I said you still have, since this is an intermediary session, you will still have those 2 blue die. So just
really?
roll me a simple mechanics.
No, man. I wish I was better at that. Okay, mechanics. Ooh, 2 success. Oh, thank God.
You come back out of the shower and you see that the Gonk is fully charged and ready to rumble with an enthusiastic.
Right. So, like, being a pilot, I know that Gonk's kind of like they're like built to kind of help around ships, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, like, I'll like pull the plug and be like, okay, Gonk, until we figure out what to call you, could you, check around the engines and stuff and make sure that everything's like tuned up?
Okay. Let me pull up the Gonk's sheet. Because as you ask this, you do get another enthusiastic. As
Right.
they begin walking towards the command console. I will roll them mechanics. They will not get the 2 blue die, as they are not a player.
Fair enough. Would they get it if I assisted?
They would get a blue die if you assisted.
Oh, okay. So
I imagine you're assisting the Gonk.
yeah, like.
So the Gonk, I will roll a mechanics for the Gonk. The Gonk rolls true. The Gonk plugs itself in, or with your help even, gets plugged in to the console, is running diagnostics and checking up on the ship. It has enough fuel for several journeys still. It is a bit banged up. Some of the front armor of the ship has taken a beating from your crash landing on the Glavis ring world, but otherwise it is still intact. The weapons are still active and can be used, and the ship seems mostly still intact.
Alright, for kicks and giggles, because, like, I'm pretty sure this can happen, like, you don't have to, like, wear the headset to, like, listen into transmissions or whatever. She'll turn on the receiver, not the transmitter, right? But, like, the receiver to kind of see, like, she'll play over the intercom whatever, like, type of signals might be, like, bouncing around the planet while she's helping the Gunk.
Alright. Okay. I'm going to give you... I'm going to ask for a computer's roll. This is going to be a situation where we'll say, even if you fail it, I'm still going to give you information. You're just going to get more information depending on how many successes that you have.
Okay.
So you're going to get your 2 blue die. The Gonk is going to give you an assist with an extra blue die, and I'm going to give you a 4th blue die for fun.
Oh, well, that does sound fun, because I really do suck at computers. Okay. Is the roll ready?
It is, and it's not a difficult roll, but who knows?
Right. Oh, geez. Force us.
Alright. So, you definitely, over the comms and feedback coming into the Scythe, being an Inquisitor ship, it is keyed into the important dealings of the Empire. Other Inquisitors' business, or high-ranking Moffs, or, officers. You hear various talks about, quelling rebellions on various planets. Well, not rebellions on various planets, but similar to Mimban, how smaller groups are attempting to fight, and they're there as, like, quote-unquote, the peacekeepers to hold them down and keep the peace. You get you overhear a transmission. With 4 successes, filtering through the just random babble, the 2 big things that you overhear are something is happening in Mimban. You overhear that quite a few officers have been sent to Mimban since your departure for some reasoning. Most you can understand through the various communications as you dial in and tune into various different officer chatter is Jedi sightings and something to do with the Inquisitorius. The second big thing that you tune into is the chatter aboard the... Yep.
Real quick, if there's any way that she could be, like, writing this down, like, anytime it's something big like that.
I imagine you have a data pad.
Right.
And I imagine you're writing it down on a data pad, or you could have the Gonk transcribe it all. But you get all that information. The next big thing is chatter from the ships above you. The, oh gosh, what are they called?
The Star Destroyers?
Yeah, the Star Destroyers. I don't know how I can remember that. You get chatter from the Star Destroyers. It seems that perhaps your cover isn't entirely safe, as you overhear chatter from one of the many officers aboard one of the Star Destroyers being ordered to contact one of the bases here on Ilum and send a contingent of troopers to investigate the ship that you have landed down on and make contact.
Are they, like, does it sound like they're giving, like, actual coordinates to the exact location? Or, like, the region?
It sounds more like the region. Like we saw this ship land in this area. They don't have your exact coordinates, but you do hear coordinates being spoken, and if you were to figure out where those would be, it would be in the basic area of where you have landed. Not exact, but around.
Alright. Hearing that, like, she would look out the cockpit window and see if maybe she could find, like, somewhere a little bit better to land the ship, where it would be, like, secluded, like, you know, like a ice cave, or, like, you know, or see if maybe, like, wow, that would really suck for everybody else, but, like, if, like, maybe, like, a blizzard might come, or, like, is on the horizon or something, where she could, like, fly into it and, like, land or wait for it to roll over so that, like, you know, a layer of snow.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Give me a perception.
That'll be with 3 blue die because of the 2 that you're saying that I keep, and then because of tendrils.
Okay.
Where the... There we go. Okay. Oh, my... blah, blah, blah. Man, I've never been so happy for a ridiculous amount of blue dice.
So, a threat and a success. A success being you're looking through the cockpit window. You're surveying your surroundings. You see a few possibly viable spots. You see some hills that you can maybe go behind. No, that's not good enough. You see some maybe lower snowbanks. No, that doesn't look good enough. You do see not necessarily a cave. There doesn't seem to be a blizzard coming currently, but you do see like an overhang that, with good enough piloting, you could probably bring the Scythe closely under. Um, with one threat, as you're peering out and looking about, uh, maybe 150 yards away, with help of the Gonk using the ship's scanners, it's hard to see. They're very hard to see, but you can just barely make out the shapes of armored troopers trudging over a hill.
Okay, so is she already being around the cockpit, I would assume?
Mm-hmm.
She would use her like let's ride ability that essentially just lets her like hop into a cockpit without like as an incidental or whatever.
Yeah.
And then yeah, she's gonna try to like book it to that bluff as like fast as possible.
Alrighty.
Like I can't tell if like where it's like on the map, like is that like are we parked on like a slight overhang already?
Yeah, so for the sake of the map, you're kind of parked on a jutting of ice, and if I were to alter that, oh, that's the entire map. Whoops. If I were to, alright, I forgot I used both pieces. If I were to, like, just for the sake of this map, you would be going and essentially, like, parking from there to, like, oh, come on, get out of the way. To, like, down here. Just for the sake of this map, yeah.
Alright, yeah, she would try to, like, flip a fucking reverse and, like, essentially try to, like, go under the overhang, but even, like, as she's landing, point the guns up and fucking shoot the bottom of the overhang and try to land under the overhang as it, like, avalanches over the ship.
Oh, okay. Ooh, that's very interesting. I'm gonna give you an additional blue die with help from the Gonk. This is gonna be a pretty challenging maneuver to do. This will be piloting space because it's using a ship.
Okay. So, my let's ride, skilled jockey, I get to remove 2 black die from any, piloting check. Are you ready on your end?
One moment. Something just happened to my sheet and I don't know what.
Oh.
Oh, there it is. Okay, it's back. So you remove how many black die? Sorry.
2.
Okay, alright. It is ready.
Triumph.
Which, as we have learned, acts as a success. If there's anything you would like to do with those advantages, you may decide now.
I'm not quite sure what I could do with those advantages at the moment, other than, you know, not damage the ship, right?
Yeah. Well, let's find out. Let's see if there's anything unique you could do. Well, you can recover strain if you have any.
I don't think I've lost any strain of late.
You can use it to notice a single important event in the ongoing conflict, which we're not in conflict, but I would allow it if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Oh. What would I have noticed? Like, would I have noticed maybe, like... Oh, like, I'm not even sure what I would have noticed, but I'll go with that one. That one sounds like handy information.
Yeah. So, you... It's nothing you notice, like, over comms or anything. But rather something as you're doing this maneuver, and you do achieve it. As you're in the midst of doing this maneuver, as you kind of get a bit more overhead, as you kick the scythe into gear, perhaps when we get back to our main session with the group, you notice in the direction that Aldous and Owen and Mando were running, you get like a quick peek of it, but you see... Now, you don't know that there's a Gorgonid waiting for them.
Right.
But you see something trailing in the snow behind their footprints.
Oh man. Remember when they like went over the comms about it and like I made the joke that she looks right or whatever, all confused? Like I could see that being around that time.
And now,
and like actually kind of seeing what's going on.
Yeah, and now with that, would you like to describe how you do this maneuver, how you jut the scythe and command it?
So like how I essentially see her doing it is like kind of lifting it up and back at the like kind of the same time, just barely up, just enough to like get up off of the like hang and start to go up underneath of it as she like shoots the like lower end of it that would cause the most of it to like come crashing down or whatever, and then like as it's starting to fall is like right when she's like scooping in for the like landing.
You are able to do so. You scoop in for the landing as the avalanche falls to be able to cover you. I am going to roll something for my dear snow troopers. It is going to be quite hard. I'm going to roll a survival for them. And I am going to spend one of my many black dice, one of my many dark side points to give them a blue die. Because I want to make things interesting. Well, they do not succeed. And I will now throw them onto our map. As Morwenna, you are able to perform this maneuver. Unbeknownst to you, the snow troopers have waltzed their way through the snows of Ilum closer to your original landing point. They notice the destroyed hilltop, the destroyed outcropping, and through your cockpit, through your hidden cockpit, you notice them walking. Despite how your ship is currently faced, you're able to notice them walking. They seem to be actively searching. They have their rifles in hand. They seem to be actively searching this area. But thanks to the cover of this avalanche that you've caused, this fall of ice and snow around the scythe, you are able to watch them as they just begin walking past you and past the scythe. And in a funny twist of fate, the way I'm going to spend the threat is you see them walking past the scythe, not noticing you. They're walking in the direction of the footprints and of the something you saw trudging through the snow following the footprints.
Alright. I think it would be a good idea, so at this point, uh, Morwenna, as they're real close, Morwenna would look over at the Gonk and, do the, finger over the, no random loud Gonk right now, and then, she would, plug the, head jack for the, the planet fucking transmitter, back, and then, ping over to the, party that, we have snow troopers on the ground.
And real quick, just give me a give me a quick mechanics. Okay. So what you don't hear you do not hear a gonk from the gonk droid. However, Morwenna, as you give the shh to the gonk, with the success you would have been able to understand the gonk. However, in this moment, I will tell you anyways, however, Morwenna does not know this. The gonk is desperately holding in a gonk. However, Morwenna, with the mechanics, you are unable to see the shaking of the two tiny feet of this droid. And as the snowtroopers begin walking past and you raise on comms to begin telling your allies in the field that they have snowtroopers on their way, I believe that is a good cut point for this short but very fun and very interesting mini session.
Yeah, definitely.
As we wait to catch back up with the trio of warriors now facing even more danger. But for now, may the Force be with you all. See you next time.